Hello, friends. Thank you for tuning in to the Book of Shadows. I want to apologize. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I've kind of just been, I guess tuned into other vibes, other frequencies, and not having the really time or energy or bandwidth for these kind of deep dives, but again, the truth in an exploration of the mysteries of life is something I'm always passionate about and always will remain passionate about. So begins another day. The season is changing. The air here in New England is crisp and cool. And with the changing of summer into autumn comes the promise of new beginnings, new journeys to undertake, new roads to discover and to walk down. And I'm hoping that you share in my sense of optimism and hope. But that's not to deny that there will be hardship. Hardship. It's an interesting word, because it's a hard ship to sail. When you really want to step in and captain your vessel towards new shores and uncharted waters, it's not easy. Others will tell you it's dangerous, that you can't do it. Your crew might jump ship. But, if you've got a hunch and an inspiration and a conviction, if you've had a vision, and you're pursuing it, then, that's a noble pursuit, my friends. So don't ever let anyone or anything steer the ship for you, once you've summoned the courage to captain it. If people are along for the ride, great. If not, that's okay too. They can take their own journey. Because, the unfortunate reality is that most people aren't even captains of their own ship. They aren't steering the ship. They've got no direction. They've got no map. They've got no idea about how the winds are changing, and how to adapt to those changes. Most people are just letting themselves be captained, just doing what they're told, following orders, one of the crew, listening to their masters. But this is all about getting you back into the position of the captain, of the master of the seas, of the one who can survey their field of awareness and to direct your consciousness where it is needed. And where I feel like most people need to direct their ship is towards healing. Self-healing, familial healing, generational healing, interpersonal healing. I feel that this is the great call of our time. This is how love speaks. But the point is that, it is hard to regain command of your ship, of your destiny, and your direction without the knowledge of how the tides move, meaning how reality really functions and operates. So part of this is about trying to give you keys and codes to this experience so that you can break free of all the chains. Because ignorance is a chain, and knowledge and awareness is freedom. So until we really get a grasp on the energetics and the dynamics of how this realm really operates, we will remain tethered to external schemes and agendas, that do not really serve the goal of this human experience, which is freedom, healing, upliftment, This is about breaking free of the false reality and unlocking our true perception. And I am hoping to help put some knowledge in your hands with this video. And at very least, maybe some wind in your sails. You can't really explain and divulge the true nature of this reality and the dynamics of how this realm works without fully entering into an organic understanding, an organic awareness, an authentic relationship with nature. Because that's how the illusion functions. That's how a false reality can be perpetuated. When beings, humans, are removed from their true ground and put into an organic, stagnant, machine-like, artificial matrix. And that's where we are in this world. So this is about returning, to the real, organic matrix. So I can only encourage people to immerse themselves in order to perceive the truth and to remove yourself from the false matrix as much as possible. I want to explain a little more about realm dynamics in order to help you grasp the truth about your own spiritual powers and abilities. Our unique blueprint, our energetic signature, is like a pulse that pings out to the reality. And it's an electric pulse that originates with the heartbeat. I've talked about this before. This is the torus field, the toroidal field. So formed all around that pulse, that ping, is the pong. It's the negative polarity, the mystery, nature herself, forming herself around us and receiving all of the energy that we are sending out. So, we are this experience, this reality. It really is an energetic ping pong between ourselves and the planet. It's an electromagnetic relationship between our inner spirit and our external nature. And this forms the field of energy and consciousness that surrounds us and creates the reality. In the external, the darkness, the mystery that is forming around us at all times, is actually a fluid, organic mesh. It's basically the womb that we are encased in. And what is contained within that womb or that mesh? Absolutely everything. All the memories, all the essences, everything that ever was and ever will be is present here in the reality with us. And that's why I say, you can know everything. If you know yourself, if you continue to seek greater levels of awareness and expansion. But many have shut themselves off, removed themselves from the mysteries, from themselves. And I really think what would benefit people is to know who you really are in this grand scheme, in this whole universe. That you truly are the most important player in the game. That you are at the very epicenter of creation itself. And, how you choose to move forward with that knowledge and that awareness is very important. Because this womb, this mesh, this mold in which we are encased, like I said, it's malleable. So the very fabric of reality is impressionable and capable of being altered. And I have to mention gentleness here, because there is a great wisdom in being gentle. Nature teaches us to be gentle, to be calm, to move quietly with humility and grace. Why is this? Why? Well, because the mystery around us, like I said, it contains all that ever was, all the karmic energy that is floating around the reality is still here with us. And so nature, it suffered a lot of damage, the organic matrix, the real womb in which we are encased, it's been really wounded. But in wisdom, you learn to work with your higher self. Through cultivating patience, trust, and clarity, you begin to see how powerful the awakened self truly is. That you have an oversoul, an overarching, all-knowing, all-pervasive form of intelligence and perception that you can learn to reach into. The unfortunate truth is that it is the nature of the mind to seek power. That this is actually the world of the Demiurge. Demiurge means lower urge, lower desires. This is the world of descended consciousness. We truly are the fallen angels alluded to in the book of Enoch. It's the same concept I was exploring in a previous video all about the prism. Because this is the world of the prism, of the prison, where light has become encased in a physical shell. Now, so long as that light remains asleep inside these physical shells of ours, where Kundalini, right, which is the creative energy of the universe, remains dormant in the lower chakra centers, then the Demiurge will rule. And if you could see this on a metaphysical level, or from an astral level, you would see that humanity, in its ignorance of the creative principles, has truly created a monster. It's this pervasive energy of chaos and dissent and destruction that is antithetical to the awakening of clarity and wisdom and peace that comes from a union with your higher self. So again, be careful with your energy. Know your power, know your worth. Pursue higher consciousness. This is what this is all about. Getting to the very pinnacle of yourself, the heights of consciousness, getting the most out of this life. Joy, freedom, limitless energy, creative inspiration, regeneration, real power. Not the power that everyone in this world is seeking, which is just a temporary, of a temporary, ephemeral nature, but real, eternal light that will dawn within. And this is what is offered to those who are willing to make the climb into the higher regions or the higher spheres of the self. The journey upwards requires discipline, though. And most people in this world are not disciplined enough. Most people are caught in these cycles of self-seeking, self-gratifying. This is the descent, the feeding of the Demiurge. But I'm hoping to cook up a delicious meal for your higher self, to feed the awakening within. We all have this, what I would call demon body, this lower animal, physical body. And I'm not going to demonize the demon. You actually need one. You need a demon, right? You need these lower energies. They form the foundation for your higher self, right? But to try to remain tethered to that higher self, it becomes important to discipline the lower chakra centers so that they, because the problem with humanity is that these lower energies, these demiurges, have become more powerful and more, they have more influence in the reality than the higher self, than the higher chakra centers. So I'm hoping that you find ways of feeding those higher energies, right? Because the same way that the stomach needs food, the third eye also needs food. All the chakras need to be fed. So I'm hoping that this video, that, tuning into this frequency will help you, align those higher energies. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening. And again, I know it's been a while, and I just feel like I put out so much content at once and divulge so much information that I was gonna just let it sit, let it simmer. But I'm still gonna pursue this wisdom and this knowledge. But it's all about balance, right? Because I have to survive, I have to work, I have to earn, So, but there's always gonna be, I'm always gonna try to remain tethered to my higher self and to find ways of connecting to my higher self. And the creation of these videos, these discourses, are helpful for me in doing that, and I'm hoping that you, the viewer, also find them helpful for tuning into your higher self, for remembering who you are at a metaphysical level, in a world where no one will tell you who you truly are, that you are a cosmos, an entire universe encased within a human shell. And that, again, most humans on the planet are just trapped within the shell. But the metaphysical, the spiritual path will break you free of that shell. I gotta find pathways towards ascension. Because like I said, humanity is in big trouble. That's the tragedy, that's unfortunate, but there's not a real, for people who are sensitive and who are, tuned into the natural frequencies and the more refined, subtle aspects, it's like, well, I'm not going to continue the journey here. I'm going to seek higher stages of awareness and evolution. But maybe we'll get into that in another video. But life here on Earth, although, things are on the surface looking very ugly, and, it's easy to lose hope, life can still be very, very beautiful. Life still is beautiful. Humans are still beautiful. There's still beauty here. And if you're watching this, if you're listening to this now, I know that there's beauty in you, that there's a light within you, that desires the expansion, the awakening, and that will come because you get what you asked for, So we asked to be here, we asked to incarnate at this time and to awaken at this time. So, the journey continues. So I want to thank you for tuning in, if you did tune in to this message. And please leave comments, let me know what you think. If there's anything that you think would be worth exploring, that you think would be interesting to dive into, I'm all for that open dialogue between myself and others. So, hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll try to be back soon. I don't think I'm going to be putting out as much content as I was in the previous couple months, but I will still try to make these videos. So, all right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.